Marco Rubio openly calls for Maduro to suffer Gaddafi's fate. So, this is the image Marco Rubio tweeted. He tweeted for us to assassinate a leader. And remember what they did to Gaddafi. They sodomized him and killed him. Marco Rubio tweets this to send Venezuela a message. This is what an elected official in the most powerful country in the world that is known for being war profiteers, that is known for being an empire around the world. He tweets this out. Marco Rubio openly calls for Maduro to suffer Gaddafi's fate. All right. Influential U.S. Senator and 2016 presidential candidate Marco Rubio, until he got his ass handed to him in multiple debates. Man, that's Marco Rubio. It does not surprise me that a tweet came from such a small person. And I mean small in the metaphorical sense. I mean, I'm sure I think he's actually kind of tall, but I mean small in the sense of principles and courage. Marco Rubio is such a cowardly human. And that has been proven time and time again. I mean, when you saw, he wouldn't have a town hall. And when he was confronted about it, he was like, you guys are just so rude to me. You're an elected official. You're going to have to put up with people criticizing you and at times yelling at you. And yes, at times being rude to you. If you can't handle that, you're not fit for the job. Lucy gets it. Marco Rubio had to hide. He had to lie about where he was. Remember when that happened? Remember when Marco Rubio said he was out of the country because he didn't want to have a town hall? He wasn't. And then people called him out about it. He was like, oh, you guys are just rude. And then remember when he got his ass handed to him on the debate stage by Chris Christie? Chris Christie. Donald Trump handed Marco Rubio's ass in. Chris Christie, Donald Trump. I'm sorry, how do you really think you're an elected official? You can't out-debate Chris Christie or Donald Trump. Really? So Marco Rubio is a very small person, so he needs to send out tweets like these to feel big. He ain't in Venezuela himself. So let's get back to this article, though. We all know how pathetic Marco Rubio is. All right, so the tweet, we know what the tweet is. It consists of a before and after photo of former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, who in 2011 was mutilated to death in the streets following a U.S.-led NATO intervention in Libya, which was launched on false humanitarian pretext. If we don't learn from history, we're due to repeat it. That's a cliche, but it's a really fucking true one, by the way. The first photo depicts Gaddafi alive and confident with a smile on his face. The second, all right, we know what it is. And Senator Rubio has been Capitol Hill's single most virulent advocate of U.S. interventionism in Venezuela. Now, this article points out a couple truths here. So, first of all, Maduro is not refusing humanitarian aid for his people. He's just not accepting it from a country who's supporting an illegal coup against him. He's not accepting it from the United States. And this article also points out if the United States actually wanted to get aid to Venezuela, they could do it via different ways, via other countries. If all they wanted to do was actually get aid to Venezuela. Because the obvious concern is that ain't what they're looking to do. They're looking to bring weapons in there. What are they basing off of that off of? Well, everything we've done in the past. And the fact that we support an illegal coup in the first place. So let's see if there's anything more to this article in specific. So here's that specific paragraph. I'll read that specific paragraph to you instead of summarizing it. In reality, Maduro has been accepting aid from everywhere except from the government that is openly staging a coup in his country in gross violation of its natural sovereignty. Just last week, Caracas accepted 933 tons of food and medical supplies from China, Cuba, India, and Turkey, and Russia has shipped in 300 tons of aid on its own. So there you go. And I think this sentence kind of sums it up. Marco Rubio does not give a shit about the Venezuelan people. Marco Rubio does not give a shit about the Venezuelan people. Marco Rubio does not give a shit about the American people. Marco Rubio does not give a shit about anybody but Marco Rubio and the special interests that feed Marco Rubio. I mean, I can't think... And keep in mind, the bar is lower than low. But I think Marco Rubio is among the most despicable elected officials in the contemporary U.S. right now. And again, I mean, the bar is so incredibly low. How do you give a gold star to somebody? I mean, it's pretty freaking hard to do. You know, considering the crop we got right now. But Marco Rubio's up there. I'd say he's definitely in the top 10, maybe even the top 5, high fidelity style.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and